Hello and welcome to today's video. In this session, we'll be exploring Rule 19, Conduct of Vessels and Restricted Visibility from the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, COLREGS. We'll break down the rule, explain its key provisions, and demonstrate how to apply them in real-life situations, helping you navigate safely when visibility is low. The International Maritime Organization, IMO, plays a pivotal role in ensuring safety, security, and environmental protection in global shipping. As a responsible maritime nation, Malaysia has proactively aligned its national legislation with key international conventions under the IMO framework. One of the earliest conventions adopted by Malaysia is the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, COLREGS, 1972, which was developed to standardize navigational rules. The aim is to ensure that vessels operating on the high seas and within national waters follow consistent protocols to prevent collisions and maritime accidents. The COLREGS Convention 1972 was adopted in London on October 20th, 1972. According to Article 4, the convention was set to entry into force 12 months after at least 15 states, representing no less than 65% of the world's gross tonnage, became parties to it. Once this condition was met, the convention officially entered into force internationally on July 15, 1977, marking a significant milestone in global navigational safety. Malaysia ratified COLREGS on December 23, 1980, and domesticated it through the Merchant Shipping Collision Regulations Order 1984, PUA 438/1984, under the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, MSO 1952. This ensured full legal force for COLREGS in Malaysian waters and for Malaysian-registered ships operating internationally, strengthening navigational safety and reducing maritime collisions. MSN November 2023 serves to inform all relevant stakeholders regarding the gazettement of the Merchant Shipping Collision Regulations, Amendment, Order 2023, marking an important update to the Merchant Shipping Collision Regulations, Order 1984. The amendments, which incorporate changes made in both the Merchant Shipping Collision Regulations, Amendment, Order 2000, and this most recent amendment, Order 2023, serve to refine and improve the regulations governing maritime safety and the prevention of collisions at sea. The Merchant Shipping Ordinance, MSO, 1952, particularly Section 252, empowers the minister to create regulations for the prevention of collisions at sea. These regulations, known as the Collision Regulations, stipulate the lights that must be carried and exhibited by vessels, the fog signals to be used in conditions of reduced visibility, and the steering and sailing rules to be observed by ships. These regulations are designed to ensure the safe and orderly operation of ships on the high seas and in all navigable waters. The collision regulations are binding and must be observed by all vessels operating on the high seas and in connected waters navigable by seagoing vessels. Any master of a vessel who fails to comply with the regulations may be fined up to 10,000 ringgit for each offense, highlighting the importance of strict adherence to these rules to prevent maritime accidents. In addition to the collision regulations, Section 81 of the MSO 1952 requires ship owners to ensure that all relevant Malaysian legislation, international rules, notices, and publications related to maritime safety, security, and the marine environment are readily accessible on board their ships. The Director of Marine is authorized to determine the list of required documents through Malaysia shipping notices. Non-compliance with this requirement can result in a fine of up to 25,000 ringgit for each ship in violation. This provision ensures that ship owners maintain up-to-date access to all necessary maritime regulations and safety standards, which is essential for maintaining safety at sea and compliance with international maritime obligations. Historically, from December 23, 1980 to 1984, Port State Control Officers, PSCO, and Flag State Control Officers, FSCO, had limited authority to detain vessels COLREGS 1972 intervening only in the most severe cases. Enforcement of maritime regulations during this period was less rigorous, with detention being the final measure. However, with the introduction of the merchant shipping collision regulations, Order 1984, 2000 and 2023 empower the Deputy Public Prosecutor to charge the master to the Malaysia courts. This shift in enforcement authority reflects the evolving capabilities of maritime safety regulation, contributing to a more robust and effective system for ensuring the safety and security of ships navigating Malaysian waters. Before we dive into Rule 19, let's take a quick look at the structure of CALREGs. The convention is divided into 6 main parts and several annexes. With this overview, we now have a clear roadmap to understand Rule 19 and how it fits into the CALREGs framework. Rule 19 applies to vessels not in sight of one another when navigating in or near an area of restricted visibility. But what exactly does restricted visibility mean? First, it's important to define restricted visibility. According to Rule 3, General Definitions, the term restricted visibility means any condition in which visibility is restricted by fog, mist, falling snow, heavy rainstorms, sandstorms, or any other similar causes. It doesn't just mean that your vessel can't see another one. It applies when either your vessel or another is in restricted visibility, even if you can see clearly. For example, you might be navigating through fog, while another vessel may be in a completely different fog bank, hidden from view. In this case, Rule 19 still applies, because although your vessel may have clear visibility, the other vessel may not be able to see you. Next is the provisions of Rule 19, Conduct of Vessels in Restricted Visibility. Let's start with paragraph B, which talks about safe speed. Every vessel shall proceed at a safe speed adapted to the prevailing circumstances and conditions of restricted visibility. A power-driven vessel shall have her engines ready for immediate maneuver. Now, we know safe speed is covered in Rule 6. Every vessel shall at all times proceed at a safe speed so that she can take proper and effective action to avoid collision and be stopped within a distance appropriate to the prevailing circumstances and conditions. However, Rule 19 adds the emphasis that the vessel must be ready to act immediately if required. When navigating in restricted visibility, you must adjust your speed accordingly. It's not just about going slow, it's about being prepared to act quickly when needed. For power-driven vessels, it specifically states that your engines must be ready for immediate maneuver. This is crucial because reduced visibility means you may need to react fast if you detect another vessel or hazard. Moving to paragraph C, it states that every vessel shall have due regard to the prevailing circumstances and conditions of restricted visibility when complying with the rules of Section 1. This section includes rules such as maintaining a proper lookout, Rule 5, speed, Rule 6, the risk of collision, Rule 7, action to avoid collision, Rule 8, narrow channels, Rule 9, and traffic separation schemes, Rule 10. In restricted visibility, maintaining a proper lookout becomes more critical. You must assess collision risks more carefully, and since visual cues are limited, you'll rely more on technology and communication tools, such as radar. To ensure safety, it is crucial to maintain a lookout not only through sight and hearing, but also by utilizing all available means. This includes resources like VHF, radar, AIS, Automatic Identification System, ERPA, Automatic Radar Plotting Aid, binoculars, and other appropriate tools depending on the situation. A vessel must have a full appraisal of the situation at all times, meaning that the captain and crew must be constantly aware of the surroundings, including nearby vessels, navigational hazards, and any changes in the environment. This comprehensive approach allows for early detection of risks and helps guide decisions to avoid collisions. By using all available tools, you can maintain situational awareness and make informed navigational decisions in restricted visibility.